Welcome to the first episode of the playlist that I created for you to showcase the basic tools that you should be using as a project manager. I'm not going to use strictly any project management methodology or going too much into the details. My intent for this presentation is to give you the very basic or the foundation of the tools that you should be using as a project manager. Whenever you like to go more into details, let me know in the comments, and then I will create additional videos where we go into the little details so that you can get the maximum from my experience. Having said that, let's go into the details of the template that I created for you. In order to be system agnostic, I created a status report, assuming you need to create it using PPT, so a typical presentation. And in this case, I use the Google Suite and created a presentation. What is important, in my opinion, that you have in the first slide is your name and the status date. Because as a project manager, you're going to extract the status of a project at a specific date. And this is important that you flag this for your stakeholders. In the second slide, I usually put the key messages. So all those messages that I want the key stakeholders to be aware of. Because in the slide number 2, usually everybody's fresh. So they are happy to hear you. They are happy to give you their support. They are happy to take a decision. That's why the key messages are in the slide number 2. At the slide number 3, I usually put the timeline. In here, the stakeholders are going to see the status of your project. And you should be extracting the data from the tool that you use to control and track the tasks. Can be Microsoft Project, can be Jira, can be Trello, can be Azure DevOps, you name one, doesn't matter, as long as you extract the data from that. You can also have a bullet list, you can also use Excel, for example, but as you know, it may look less professional. I also add a circle or a rag status so that all the stakeholders can see the status of the project, green, red, or amber. Last but not least, it's also important to include the days of delays that you're facing so far. In this way, also in the future, in case you accumulate multiple delays, you will be able to see the total days of delays that you have in the project. In this way, you are able to see why the project got delayed. I also suggest you that after few interactions that you're late, to have a change request, get the approval of this change request from your stakeholders, and then rebaseline the project plan so that the delay is not there anymore. Moving on the next slide, the slide number 4, here you're going to see the overall status of the project. That's the core of this document. Here you should have the usual rag status with the color so that everybody can understand if we are in a good shape or in a bad shape. On the top right, I suggest you to list all the milestones and the deadlines. And then in the central part of this document, you should list achievement, what's next, the challenges and risks, and the dependencies. Those information should be coming from the tool that you use to plan and track your activities, because this will give again the feeling that you're using tools, that you are a professional person tracking and planning all the activities in the project. From this slide and moving forward, you're going to have various information that I'm not going to cover in this video because they will require a separate video. But I can still tell you that I suggest that you have a RAID register where you list all the risk, all the assumption, all the issue, and the dependencies. Or you're going to have a separate page for the achievements where you list what was achieved in the current period. This is very good to keep the morale up and also to showcase to the stakeholders what has been achieved. You can also have some demo following the list of the achievement so that the people get motivated to showcase what they've done. Then you're going to have a dependency as a separate page. Here, the most important is to have all the dependency lists, by when the dependency need to be satisfied, and the owner of the dependencies. Without the owner, or without being clear by when you need the dependencies, you're not set for success. Then we have the key decision. This is important so that everybody is aware of what has been agreed, by when, and by whom. And it's also part of the key message that you said at the beginning of this presentation. And finally, you have the organizational chart, where you see all the people that are supporting the project. And with that, guys, we reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoy it. And in case you need additional information in a specific area, just let me know, drop a note in the comments, and then I will follow up from there, creating additional content for you. Stay tuned because also additional content is coming in the next days.